DJI has been the drone king for years, so I was taken aback when Insta360 beat it to market with the first 360 drone, the anti-gravity A1. It's a surprisingly polished product, offering 8K 360 video with features like subject tracking and FPV flying. DJI responded quickly with the Avata 360, a love child of the company's Avata 2 drone and Osmo 360 action camera. It has a lot in common with the anti-gravity A1, like 8K 360 video, but it's safer to fly around people. To find out how it stacks up against Insta360's drone, I tested it both indoors and out, around people and even horses. Though not perfect, the Avata 360 is more polished than its rival. As with other DJI products lately though, US availability remains unclear. The 360 camera makes the Avata 360 different from any other DJI drones. It features two ultra-wide f1.9 lenses and 1.1-inch 64-megapixel sensors, with one pointing up and the other down for unobstructed 180-degree views. Those are then stitched together by software to create 360 video at up to 8K 60 frames per second. This setup changes the way you capture video with a drone. Since the 360 camera records in all directions, you can focus on flying and reframe shots later in DJI's Studio app. And in FPV mode, the head tracking on DJI's goggles lets you look around simply by turning your head. Unlike the anti-gravity A1 that only shoots 360 video, the Avata 360 supports flat, single-camera video as well. In that mode, the camera rotates forward and shoots 4K video at up to 60 frames per second. DJI's drone also works with a regular controller, which isn't an option on the A1. Because of the chunky 360 camera, the Avata 360 is slightly bigger than the Avata 2. And while the A1 doesn't require a permit as it weighs under 250 grams, you will need one for the 455-gram DJI 360 drone. The Avata 360's propellers are shielded to protect the drone and keep it safe indoors or around people, unlike the open-prop A1. For additional protection, it has two Omni obstacle sensors on the side, a LiDAR sensor up front, landing sensors on the bottom, and of course, a camera that points in all directions. To keep the lenses off of bare ground, it comes with a foldable 18 by 18-inch landing mat. The 45 gigabytes of internal storage can fill up quickly when you're shooting 8K video, so the drone also has a micro SD card. You can transfer that footage to a PC or smartphone via the USB-C port or over Wi-Fi using DJI's Fly app. DJI's Goggles N3, which are available with the RC Motion 3 controller as an option, are comfortable and allow you to wear eyeglasses. If you'd rather pilot conventionally, the Avata 360 is also available bundled with DJI's RC2 screen controller. As an FPV drone, the Avata 360 is fast and agile. It can hit speeds up to 40 miles per hour in sport mode or 35 miles per hour in normal mode with obstacle avoidance. When used with the optional FPV Remote Controller 3, you can do flips, rolls, and other Cinewhoop style maneuvers. I have to say, this style of flying is incredibly fun once you master it. The 37.8 watt-hour batteries have 26% more capacity than the Avata 2 cells, but the rated endurance is about the same at 24 minutes. I never got more than about 18 minutes in real-world flying though, so it's a good idea to buy the Fly More kit with 3 batteries and a fast charger that can replenish them all in about an hour. Part of my testing of the Avata 360 was capturing trick-riding horses, so it was important that the drone noise didn't spook them. At 81 decibels, the Avata 360 is louder than the Mini 4 Pro, but less Banshee-like than the Neo 2 due to the larger propellers, so the horses weren't alarmed. Video is transmitted to the goggles N3 or RC screen controller at 1080p 60 frames per second via DJI's OcuSync 4 system. The maximum flying range is 12.4 miles, double that of the Avata 2 and anti-gravity A1, which is impressive for an FPV drone. The Avata 360 has DJI's usual tracking and obstacle detection features. To follow a subject, simply draw a box around them to enable active track. The drone then follows your subject automatically and lets you control its position via the on-screen steering wheel. To test that, I biked in a narrow, forested lane and walked around a bamboo-covered obstacle course. When using focus track, the drone dodged most obstacles and was only confused by small leaves and branches, but it sailed right through those thanks to the propeller guards. Subject tracking works in both 360 and single camera modes, but when using the latter, the drone can see and avoid obstacles behind it. It hit branches several times during my testing, but fortunately the prop guards prevented crashes. Other automatic features include droney, rocket, and other quick shot modes that let you capture clips for social media. The Avata 360 prioritizes FPV freedom and flexibility over pure video quality. Though it promises 8K, that only applies to the full 360-degree video. Your final flat video will actually be 4K or less. On top of that, you can often see a seam in the video where a stitching occurs, and dewarping can create softness at the edges. With all that, video is less sharp than DJI's regular Mini, Air, and Mavic drones. Because the camera is fixed when shooting 360 video, the Avata 360's gimbal can't smooth out jolts or correct for roll as DJI's drones usually do. Instead, it uses action cam style electronic stabilization. However, that type of smoothing causes motion blur and artifacts in low light due to the lower shutter speeds. With that said, video quality was as sharp and color accurate as the Osmo 360, and a touch better than the anti-gravity A1 when filming in daylight. For tricky, contrasty conditions like a shaded path on a sunny day, the D-Log-M option boosted dynamic range, helping me bring out shadow detail and tone down overly bright highlights. However, the 360 video I shot of a city at night was soft and occasionally blurry due to the stabilization issues. In exchange for the lower video quality, you get incredible flexibility. For a vlog-style tracking shot, I usually need to film twice to show the forward and backward directions. With the Avata 360 though, I was able to get both POVs from the same shot and output a third overhead shot for good measure. DJI Studio is where you go to select your desired framing and output the flat video. It's not quite as versatile as Insta360's app, but allows you to reframe shots and create smooth transitions between camera angles. To save time, you can use the intelligent tracking feature to center your subject. For color correction and other features, I found it easier to export the final shots to DaVinci Resolve. Flat video is a mixed bag. Sharpness is mildly better than the 360 video, but the lack of a gimbal roll axis means that the camera can't level itself when the drone banks into the wind. As a result, most of my footage was weirdly tilted. With the Avata 360, DJI has a surprisingly sophisticated drone that offers better video quality and more features than its only rival, Insta360's anti-gravity A1. It can do everything you'd expect from a DJI FPV drone, like tracking, obstacle avoidance, and acrobatics, while operating safely around people or horses. DJI also managed to undercut Insta360 on price, with the Avata 360 starting at around $530 or $1,089 in a kit with a screen controller, 3 batteries, and a charger. It's also available in the same configuration but with DJI's FPV goggles N3 and the RC Motion 3 controller for the same $1,089. As mentioned, there's no word yet on US pricing or availability, but the Avata 360 has been approved by the FCC, so it could appear in the US soon. Like most 360 action cams though, this is a niche product. If you're a vlogger, extreme action shooter, FPV pilot, or solo filmmaker who wants speed and flexibility, it's a great option. If it's pixel perfect image quality you want, you're better off with DJI's Mini 5 Pro, Air 3S, or Avata 4 Pro. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. And for more on technology, check out Engadget.com.